Of the 196 nations on Earth, one tiny micronation, about the size of New Jersey, should be among the most admired. Each year, this micronation unveils important breakthroughs in health sciences, consumer technologies, and other fields that make our lives better, longer, and safer. It pioneered lower-cost, eco-friendly ways to turn barren wastelands into lush gardens, sprouting an endless variety of fruits and vegetables. It created the USB drive, enabling massive amounts of data to be stored in a tiny space. It developed a means to destroy cancer cells by freezing them. It created a computerized exoskeleton that enables paralyzed people to walk again. It developed a technology that enables people in the most remote parts of the world to make clean, fresh drinking water from the air. It even created a pill-sized camera that travels through, lights up, and transmits pictures from a person's intestines. Whatever the problems facing humanity or the Earth, it's a safe bet that this micronation is on the cutting edge of working to solve them. These are some of the reasons why many of the world's largest corporations have research centers in this micronation. They all want one thing: to tap into its culture of incredible innovation, focusing on human wellness, happiness, and progress. In the region of the world in which this micronation exists, however, members of the LGBT community are severely oppressed and even murdered as a matter of government policy. This micronation is the only refuge in the region to which they can escape and live openly in peace, freedom, dignity, and security. Each year, it also hosts one of the world's biggest annual Pride festivals. Wherever disaster strikes, this micronation is often first on the scene with world-class medical professionals, field hospitals, and search and rescue crews. And when this micronation is forced to defend her people, she works relentlessly to develop cutting-edge technologies and practices to prevent harm from coming to any nearby civilians. Those who care about human life, health, security, happiness, prosperity, and peace, and who know the facts about this micronation, cherish and admire her. The name of this micronation is Israel. Tiny Israel, a mere sliver of land in the vast Middle East, has just 0.1% of the world's population and sits on just 1/17,000th of the Earth's land surface. And yet, Israel has become a global powerhouse in advancing humanity's rational interests. Now that you know the facts about Israel, how do you react to the fact that Israel is among the most hated nations on Earth? It's true. Surveys conducted in 2014 and 2017 in 22 nations showed Israel is viewed as one of the 4 nations having the most negative influence on the world, the others being Iran, North Korea, and Pakistan. In 2014, a worldwide survey revealed that Israel is viewed as one of the biggest threats to peace, alongside Iran, North Korea, and Afghanistan. And in America, the lone bastion of widespread support for Israel, this is changing at lightning speed. Between 2018 and 2021, the percentage of Americans aged 18 to 35 who sympathize more with Israel than Palestinians, saw the biggest decline in 20 years. According to another survey, today more Americans age 18 to 34 sympathize with Palestinians than with Israel. Between 2010 and 2016, the percentage of U.S. Jewish college students who support Israel over Palestinians dropped by 1/3, from 84% to 57%. From 2018 to 2021, support for Israel among young U.S. evangelical Christians dropped by more than half, from 75% to 33%. 67% of U.S. Jewish college students say they feel unsafe on campus, and 50% say they hide their religious identity to avoid physical or verbal attacks. There are now more violent hate crimes perpetrated against Jews in New York City than against all other minorities, religious and non-religious, combined. Research shows that many of these crimes are driven by hatred of Israel. How could this chasm between the reality of Israel and these negative perceptions of her even exist in 2021? How could this be happening when more information is available to more people for free or at lower cost than ever before in human history? Regardless of how we got here, three things are clear. 1. This situation is among the gravest red alert moments in all of Israel's history. 2. Israel is not just losing the information war that's been declared on her, she's being annihilated. And 3. Unless something profound changes soon, Israel's survival will become an open question. What is urgently needed right now is a bold new knowledge tool that will enable anyone, anywhere in the world, to easily and freely access carefully curated, evidence-based materials that showcase Israel's incredible contributions to all major realms of human wellness, safety, and longevity. Personal testimonials from people around the world explaining why they love Israel and how her innovation, benevolence, or generosity helped them or even saved their lives. And professionally produced infographics, short videos, and even virtual reality applications, each of which will condense one essential fact about Israel into simple visual formats that can be shared on social media and beyond. Imagine the change that might happen if such a free knowledge tool were widely promoted as a resource that everyone, from educators, students, and politicians, to activists, corporate executives, and everyday citizens, could use to discover the reality of Israel. Imagine how much the news industry might change if reporters, editors, and producers around the world had open, free, instant access to a meticulously organized database of facts about Israel against which they could check the latest smear being spread against her. There is good news, however. Version 1.0 of a new website, conceived and designed from the ground up to meet these criteria, now exists at iloveisrael.me. The site's content is arranged under several major categories. Under the tab, Why Do People Love Israel, is an array of pages, each of which contains articles and videos presenting one aspect of Israel's achievements, humanity, and benevolence. Under the tab, Why I Love Israel, Personal Stories, is an initial compilation of voices from across the cultural, economic, and racial spectrum about why Israel holds such a special place in their hearts. Under the Infographics tab, are early examples of how essential facts about Israel could be condensed into single-frame graphics. And under research data, anti-Israel and anti-Semitic hate and violence is a summary of the shocking facts that show why ILoveIsrael.me is so urgently needed. Everything you've seen at ILoveIsrael.me has been conceived of, created, and funded by one person as a passion project. But imagine I Love Israel as a professionally run, fully funded nonprofit with offices around the world. Imagine a global community of activists who can receive free training in using I Love Israel resources in an efficient and effective manner. Imagine these activists producing everything from blog articles and letters to the editor to documentaries and rapid response campaigns against new and rehashed lies that are spread about Israel on social media. If you like this vision of I Love Israel, you could play a role in helping to make it come true. Go to gofundme.com/I-love-Israel to learn about our first priorities and how you can make a donation to our seed capital crowdfunding campaign. And please share this video with anyone who you think might want to become part of this exciting journey.